Thanks for checking out this video. So it's that time again. Let's go ahead and talk about what's coming to Shudder for next month, May 2025. The ones I'm going to go over first are the Shudder exclusive and originals, which I will have no spoiler reviews up for on the Monday of the week that they come out, which they're all coming out on Fridays these days. So let's go ahead and get into what they got. Which, by the way, this is my birthday month, so I'm happy to see that they have some really good stuff coming for my birthday month. So thank you for the birthday present, Shudder. The first one is The Ugly Stepsister, which is a Shudder original. It's coming, it says TBA, to be announced, whatever date it's going to be in May. I don't know why they don't have a date for it, but okay. The Ugly Stepsister. A sinister twist on the classic Cinderella story, The Ugly Stepsister follows Elvira as she prepares to earn the prince's affection at any cost. In a kingdom where beauty is a brutal business, Elvira will compete with the beautiful and enchanting Agnes to become the belle of the ball. Doesn't sound that interesting to me, but who knows? Could be great. The next one is called The Surrender. This one will be May 23rd, also a Shudder original. A fraught mother-daughter relationship is put to a terrifying test when the family patriarch dies and the grieving mother hires a mysterious stranger to bring her husband back from the dead. As the bizarre and brutal resurrection spirals out of control, both women must confront their differences as they fight for their lives and for each other. Maybe kind of interesting-ish, I guess. And then this is one I'm really excited about. It's a 40th anniversary exclusive streaming showing of Vampire Hunter D. Yes, the animated movie Vampire Hunter D, which I actually own. Really good movie if you haven't seen it. Even if you're not into animation, it's a very good vampire story. So that one is coming May 30th, so at the very end. In the year 12,090 AD, technology and the supernatural have overtaken the world, leaving the land desolate and despotic. The remnants of humanity are scattered into small communities and live in fear of vampires who compose the ruling nobility. When Count Magnus Lee tastes the blood of Doris Lang, she is forcibly chosen to be his next wife. In an effort to escape her ill-gotten fate, she hires a mysterious vampire hunter known only as D, who comes from a peculiar lineage. Trust me, it's a good one. And then if you like that one, check out Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, wherever you might be able to find that. All right, obviously The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs is continuing. That's Friday, May 2nd. Who knows what his two movies are going to be, but I have a theory that is well, it's not really a theory. It's going to be wishful thinking. I'll tell you about it when we get to some of the other movies, because it's a movie in the trilogy that's not listed there, but the other two are. I'll tell you then. Reminder that they're doing their watch-along parties every Friday. So obviously they have the first Friday is The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, but then they're doing other ones where it's a double feature of films. So for Friday, May 9th, it is their body horror watch party, which will be The Ugly Stepsister and Starry Eyes. Starry Eyes is pretty good. Obviously haven't seen Ugly Stepsister yet. Then May 16th is Irish folk horror watch party with Frawaka and the Hollow. I wasn't huge on Frawaka. I can say that now because my review is out today. My no spoiler review is out today. I wasn't huge on that one, but the Hollow I remember thinking was pretty solid. Then May 23rd is Resurrections watch party with The Surrender and Birth/Rebirth. Birth/Rebirth was okay. Haven't seen The Surrender yet, obviously. And then on May 30th, Shudder's scariest watch party, which is The Dark and the Wicked, which I wasn't huge on The Dark and the Wicked, but for ambiance and creep factor, it's great, and I know a lot of people like that movie. Paired up with Terrified, which is a Damien Rugna film that I have not seen. And if people are saying like that name sounds familiar, but I don't know what else he's done, When Evil Lurks, by the way, which is phenomenal. And I've heard Terrified is also phenomenal, so I need to catch that. Okay, so what else is coming to Shudder? Let's go with the other films. May 1st is going to be the following 6 films. Oh man, there's some good stuff here. Overlord, not some of the good stuff in my opinion. A small group of American soldiers find horror behind enemy lines on the eve of D-Day. Not a fan of it. It's a zombie film. I didn't like it. A lot of people did, so maybe you should check it out, but I wasn't a fan. Jacob's Ladder is the next one, and this is one that I've been meaning to see for a long time, so I need to make sure I do that. Mourning his dead son, a haunted Vietnam War veteran attempts to uncover his past while suffering from a severe case of disassociation. To do so, he must decipher reality and life from his own dreams, delusions, and perception of death. Heard really great things, obviously, need to get to it. The next one is They Call Her Death. Haven't seen this one. Molly Prey is on a bloody crusade against the criminal forces who have wronged her. Her mission strikes at the myth of manifest destiny, but for Molly and the embodied specter of death on her side, this isn't political. This is personal. I don't know. The next one is one that I love and will champion this entire franchise forever. Tremors. The original Tremors. Natives of a small, isolated town defend themselves against strange underground creatures which are killing them one by one. Look, if you haven't seen Tremors, take the plunge. It's fun, it's light, it's funny, it's got graboid creatures in it. Check it out. The Devil's Business is the next one. Have not seen this. At the horse of their target. Okay, I have a feeling there's spelling errors here. I'll just read it as it is. At the horse of their target, two hit men bide their time waiting for the kill, only to find the death already arrived in the shape of black magic, devilish spirits, and the occult. That is horribly written. They need to proofread this stuff. And I also wonder if they're using AI to do it. Hope not. Itim, The Rites of May, is the last one for May 1st. During a return of his provincial home, a young man gets involved with a woman who is ultimately possessed by her sister's spirit, paving the way to revealing the painful truth about her unsolved disappearance. Not for me. Don't like possession films for the most part. The next one film is coming on May 3rd, City of the Dead from 1960. A young college student arrives in a sleepy Massachusetts town to research witchcraft. During her stay at an eerie inn, she discovers a startling secret about the town and its inhabitants. And this was part of the Elvira's 40th anniversary. Very scary, very special episode. So that episode will be back on Shudder if you want to check that out. And it was good. The next 6 films are coming on May 5th. Some other good ones here. Well, one good one in particular. I don't know about all the other ones. First one is called Venom from 1981, which actually I have been meaning to see. I haven't seen it. Terrorists in the process of kidnapping a child get trapped in a house with an extremely deadly snake. Could be fun. The next one is Pieces. I am a big fan of Pieces. A lot of people are. The co-eds of a Boston college campus are targeted by a mysterious killer who is creating a human jigsaw puzzle from their body parts. Don't really know why you would call all of that out immediately. If anyone hasn't seen the film, that's spoiler laden. Although you don't know who did it. So that was all, just so people know, Pieces was a part of the original Joe Bob special. I think it was like 2017, 2018. So that'll be back on Shudder, which check it out. Next is Cannibal Holocaust. An anthropologist ventures into the Amazon rainforest on a rescue mission where he recovers footage shot by a film crew documenting their disastrous encounters with local cannibal tribes. That also means that the Joe Bob episode of it will be back on Shudder. Then the next is Cannibal Ferox. 3 friends embark on a trip through the Amazon jungle to disprove cannibalism, where they meet a pair of fugitive drug smugglers forcing a vicious cannibal tribe to harvest cocaine. I'm not a cannibal movie fan for the most part, so I'm going to skip on these. A Night of Horror Volume 1. 10 filmmakers, 1 night of horror. That is all it says. You're not selling me on that. You gotta bring more than that. Lazy. Then Contracted. After being drugged and raped at a party, a young woman contracts what she thinks is an STD, but it's actually something much worse. I've heard that's a pretty good film. Then the next, what is it? 9 films? Is this 9 films? Okay. Will be dropping on May 12th. They're doing it with volume this month. Well, for May. Rust Creek. An overachieving college student gets lost on her way to a job interview. A wrong turn leaves her stranded deep in the Kentucky forest. I've not seen it. Don't know anything about it. Doesn't sound interesting. Woodlands Dark and Days Bewitched. This is a phenomenal documentary. Watch it if you have not seen it. A thorough overview and dissection of the subgenre of folk horror with contributions from many of the major creators and clips from cinema all over the world. It is unbelievable. I think this is one of the very few films I reviewed on my channel and gave 5 stars to. It's unbelievable. Next one is Eyes of Fire. Oh, so I see. They're going to be adding some folk horror. Smart. Eyes of Fire, which was on Shudder at one point. A preacher is accused of adultery, and he and his followers are chased out of town. They become stranded in an isolated forest, which is haunted by the spirits of French colonists controlled by evil. Yeah, I should probably watch that. Sounds interesting. Then White Reindeer, another folk horror film. A newlywed woman goes to the local shaman to get some help with her love life, but instead she gets turned into a white reindeer vampire. I should check it out. Then the next one is Latan. Married couple Jock and Nora visit the town of Latan during its carnival celebration. After having a nightmare of Jock's death, Nora sets out to find him but encounters strange people and dangerous events erupting all over town. That sounds fun too. Next, Blood on the Stars. Sadrock Smith and his school choir do their best to ensure that the local celebrities hired to appear at a concert in a village hall don't make it to the stage and slaughter anyone they believe is getting in their way. That is just one run-on sentence. They gotta do better writing these. They really do. Bothers me. It sounds kind of interesting. Next one is Coda. A maniac is stalking and killing female students at a university. Okay, a slasher. Sounds fun. Then Lady Stay Dead. A young woman is looking after her sister's house, unaware that her sister and neighbor have been murdered by their handyman, who also happens to be a serial killer. Also sounds interesting. Then the last one for the 12th is Pontypool, a very good film if you haven't seen it. A radio host interprets the possible outbreak of a deadly virus which infects the small Ontario town he's stationed in. Very good independent film. Then the next 2 films will, after I give you these, I will tell you about a theory. Well, I don't think it's necessarily going to happen, but I hope it happens with Joe Bob. May 19th, the next 4 films, and that's the last date they're dropping films. First one is Lady Vengeance. After being wrongfully imprisoned for 13 years and having her child taken away from her, a woman seeks revenge through increasingly brutal means. Phenomenal film. Then Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, which is actually the second film in this trilogy. Lady Vengeance is the third film in the trilogy, and I'll tell you about the first film in a bit. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. A recently laid-off factory worker kidnaps his former boss's friend's daughter, hoping to use the ransom money to pay for his sister's kidney transplant. Now, the first film in that trilogy is the Chan-wook Park trilogy. Phenomenal filmmaker, one of my favorites. Old Boy. Old Boy is the first film in that trilogy. I'm hoping, although I think it's unlikely, that Joe Bob does Old Boy for the last drive-in. That would be the best birthday present for me, personally, for May. So, fingers crossed that we get Old Boy. That would be epic. Unbelievably epic. And I do need to say, some people may be saying, yeah, but it's not listed here that it's going to be on Shudder. They don't always include them. Sometimes they want to surprise people, and then you know that it's going to be on Shudder when Joe Bob premieres it. All right, so the last 2 films, The Whip and the Body. This is a Mario Bava film with Christopher Lee in it. Check it out. It's a fun time. The ghost of a sadistic nobleman attempts to rekindle his romance with his terrorized, masochistic former lover who is unwillingly betrothed to his brother. Now, it's not a phenomenal film, but it looks gorgeous because it's Mario Bava. It's so well shot. Everything Bava is. And then the last film for May 19th and for May in general, Dead End Drive-In. In a dystopian future Australia, a health nut and his tag-along girlfriend become trapped in a drive-in cinema that has become a concentration camp for delinquent youths and refugees. I'll also see Joe Bob showing that one because of the obvious ties with it being at a drive-in. I've seen that one. I actually own it on Blu-ray because it was released through Arrow and I got it. It's okay. I'm not huge on it, but, you know, if it sounded interesting, check it out. Anyway, at this point, put in the comments, what are you excited to check out? What do you wish Shudder would put on their streaming service? That's another thing I'd be interested to know. Also, if there's some of those films that I said I have not seen and you want to let me know, definitely check this one out or definitely avoid this one. Put that in the comments too. Real quick, please support me by subscribing to my channel. That's a great free way to do it. But if you also want to get a little more involved, you can throw me a little bit of cash. I do have a link to my memberships below, and there are 3 tiers, and the top tier, the possession tier, actually ends up getting actual extra videos that no one else will end up seeing, and I'm doing some pretty solid stuff there. Also, if you're into adult film titles, specifically ones that are being put out by Vinegar Syndrome through their Melusine line, I am going to be doing reviews to put there because I want to separate it from the rest of my channel. So if you're interested, you can check it out. But thumbs up on the video is another free way to help me out. Helps with that YouTube algorithm, and you can hit the notification bell button if you want to know when I'm putting up videos. Because if you watch a video pretty soon after it comes onto Shudder or has its premiere, or sorry, YouTube, it's been a long day, has its premiere and everything, it actually makes the traction gain a lot quicker and better. I gotta apologize. I feel like I was a little, jumbled in some of the things I was saying during this because I just worked and it was a day. But anyway, thank you everyone for checking this out, especially if you stayed around this long. Until next time, keep it brutal.